Hello there, you amazing viewers and subscribers. So welcome to a brand new video series where I'm going to be doing a video on each companion of the Doctor. Now, so far, we've had so many companions since 1963, as we had Susan, Ian, Barbara, Vicky, Stephen, Katrina, Sarah Kingdom, Dodo, Ben, Polly, then of course we had Jamie, Victoria, Zoe, the Brigadier, Liz Shaw, Sergeant Benton, Captain Yates, Joe Grant, Sarah Jane, Harry Sullivan, Leela, K9 Mark 1, K9 Mark 2, Romana 1, Romana 2, Adric Nissa Tegan, we got Tarlo, we got Chameleon, we got Perry, we got Mel, we got Ace, we got Grace, and then going into Who with Rose, Martha, Donna, of course with Mickey, and of course with Captain Jack and Adam, and then with Amy and Rory Pond, with River Song, and then Clara, Nardole, Bill, Graham, Ryan and Yaz and Dan. So I thought, why not do a video about each companion and what I think of them. So for episode 1, it is Who is Ace? So Ace was the companion to the 7th incarnation of the Doctor, starring Sylvester McCoy. Now, she was actually introduced in the last story of season 24, which is of course known as Dragonfire. Ace became one of the most popular companions ever, and to be honest with you, she's my all-time favourite, which is why I'm starting off this video by talking about my favourite companion. So what can I say about Ace? What makes her so great? Well, she beats up a Dalek with a baseball bat. She literally uses a slingshot to throw gold into the Cybermen's chest units to suffocate them. And of course, she's absolutely amazing. She's Ace. How much more do you need? She is Ace. So Ace, otherwise known as Dorothy McShane. Honestly, I have to admit, I prefer Ace to Dorothy. It's a good name, and so does Ace. Ace is played by Sophie Aldred, who is recurring the role in, of course, this Sunday's episode of Doctor Who, aka The Power of the Doctor, for Jodie's Final. So I thought, why not talk about each story of Ace and what I think of them. So jumping into Dragonfire, we have the return of Sevalon Glitz, we've got the Doctor, we've got Mount visiting Iceworld to have a look what's been going on there. And of course we have Mr. Kane, who's basically in exile from his own people for a crime he committed over 3,000 years ago. But a 1,000 years after he was kicked off his home planet was destroyed. So he's literally building up this big, massive redemption of revenge on his own people to find out they only died at the end of it. And then basically he decides to melt his own face while screaming in pain. I absolutely love Dragonfire. It's an absolutely amazing story. The next story that features Ace is, of course, a fantastic story called Remembrance of the Daleks. So this is Ace's first outing with the Daleks. Yes, she has battled against the Daleks quite a few times in Big Finish, which I'm kind of hoping they don't really ignore that in Power of the Doctor. I kind of want Ace to remember all the battles she has with the Daleks, because I guarantee she's had so many battles in Big Finish with the Daleks than just on the TV screen. Honestly, I have to admit, I absolutely do really like Ace because she beats up a Dalek with a baseball bat in the story. It's amazing. Happiness Patrol, again, Ace has been arrested by the Happiness Patrol and, happiness will prevail. And of course, she's basically being forced to join his entertainment, and if she loses, she dies. Which basically the Seventh Doctor does interfere by basically making the Candyman basically with the juice killing sweet thing that kills them. I absolutely have to admit, I do love the Happiness Patrol. It is an amazing story. Going into the next story, which is Silver Nemesis. Not many people really enjoy this one, but I kind of enjoy it because the Doctor and Ace are at a jazz festival, and basically a reminder on the Doctor for the Nemesis to come back to Earth, because it comes back to Earth every 20 odd years, something like that. And of course, it happens in 1988, and the Cybermen follow, and Ace uses a slingshot to destroy Cybermen. How good is she? You know what? I've never known a companion to get hold of a slingshot, proper Earth weapon, and just fling gold into the Cybermen's chest units. Good one, Ace. I absolutely love her. Plus, she creates Nitro 9 as well. Nitro 9 is just amazing. I do like the way the Doctor goes, Ace, blow up that vehicle. And she goes, right. I absolutely do love that story. The next story is, of course, The Greatest Show in the Galaxy for Sir Ace's return. Well, basically for another story for Ace. Now, Ace doesn't like clowns, and the Doctor insists on going to this psychic circus where basically these guards called of Rangarok basically take command of the circus, taking over its people, getting these clans to obey them, go around kidnapping people, and if they don't get their own way, they end up killing them. I do like this story because, in fact, the Seventh Doctor actually blows up the tent and walks away from the tent as the tent blows up. Fantastic stuff. The next story is, of course, Battlefield from season 26. This story basically is a good one because Ace meets a thermal friend to the Doctor, aka the Brigadier Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart. So this is the last appearance in Doctor Who for Nicholas Courtney. Yes, it does return at another point, which I will cover up on his video for Who is the Brigadier. I absolutely do really like Ace and the Brigadier's friendship. The way he knocks the Doctor out and Ace calls him a scumbag, and literally the Doctor goes, "You stupid idiot," and Ace is just standing there over the Doctor. And of course the Doctor does come up with that line saying, "I always have an ace up my sleeve." I honestly just absolutely love Battlefield. It's a great story. The next story is, of course, Ghostlight, and this is one of the stories where the Seventh Doctor really manipulates Ace. Because going into a house in the early 80s, Ace finds out it's been haunted with really bad memories. And it's, of course, from the events of this story, which the Doctor basically takes Ace. And Ace does not too happy about it because she screams, "We're in Pellavale!" And this is the house she's told the Doctor. The Doctor thinks, you know what, it's a good idea. I'm just going to take Ace to go back to this haunted house and find out what's gone wrong. It's honestly a great story and you really need to check it out. The next story is, of course, The Curse of Fenric, where the Doctor and Ace end up in World War II, where, of course, they meet Ace's baby. And this is how Ace becomes the Wolf of Fenric, because Fenric's basically kidnapped, literally used a time jump to jump Ace from the late 20th century into Ice World. And, of course, this is a kind of a whole backdrop of Ace's plot hole, character arcs, a plot hole really technically for Ace. It gives us something she's this powerful being, a bit like the Seventh Doctor was, but in the Cartmel plan. Honestly, I just absolutely love the story because the way that the Seventh Doctor really manipulates Ace and really gets under her skin by it as well, because literally she's there having all this faith in the Doctor, and the Doctor goes, "You think I didn't know? Do you think I would have really chosen a misfit? I knew from the very beginning." I just absolutely love this story. The way the Seventh Doctor really stitches us up Ace, and just to kill her faith in him, which basically she does end up getting more faith in the Doctor afterwards at this point. But I just absolutely love this story. It's been, and then of course the last time we actually see Ace on screen is, of course, in Survival. So basically the Doctor takes her back to Pellavale to see her old friends who have actually been kidnapped by the Cheetah People, who are led by the renegade Time Lord known as the Master. So of course the Doctor ends up going to this planet to find out it's full of Cheetah People, and of course the Master, Ace, is already there after being chased by one of them on a horse. Yeah, Survival's an absolutely brilliant story. If you haven't seen Survival, I'll do go and check it out, because it is the last story of Doctor Who in general, for Classic Who. It is the last story for the Seventh Doctor. It is basically the last story that we ever see Ace. And then, of course, Ace does make few reappearances in Big Finish during the Seventh Doctor's time stream. She does meet all 8 incarnations in Light at the End, but, you know, with the whole time stream and everything gets put back to place, so she only meets one version of the Doctor. And, of course, she basically does end up in the Doctor Who spin-off universe of Torchwood as well, which I've only got one CD where she re-meets Torchwood, which is basically Death in Venice. I can't wait to get more Big Finish audios from the Seventh Doctor and Ace. If I was going to say what's my favourite Seventh Doctor and Ace audios out of the two I've got, I have to admit it's probably Nightshade, because Nightshade is absolutely brilliant, because you do actually have Ace falling in love with a human and she can't decide if she's going to stay with the Doctor or go and be happy. But I think she actually stays with the Doctor. I don't really know. Basically, I just need to try and track more Big Finish audios. So this is a quick video on Ace's timeline. So Ace, as I say, was introduced in 1987 to 1989, played by the wonderful Sophie Aldred. And I do highly recommend these stories I've actually mentioned, which is, of course, Dragonfire, Remembrance of the Daleks, The Happiness Patrol, Silver Nemesis, The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, Battlefield, Ghostlight, The Curse of Fenric, and Survival for Ace's basically kind of like story arc. I honestly have to admit, it's just absolutely amazing, so thank you for watching. And join me for episode 2, when I talk more about the next companion, basically, which is, of course, Tegan, and this video will be out on Saturday, the day before we get to Power of the Doctor. So thank you for watching, and have a cracking day.